late March in Massachusetts, and I can't think of a better way to kick off spring than to visit a snake den at a local wetland. I've been hiking for about 10 or 15 minutes, and the den itself is just up ahead here. All right, we're here. This talus structure behind me is a multi-species snake den. There are 3 species of snakes that overwinter at this site: the northern water snake, the eastern garter snake, and the common ribbon snake. Now, what makes this den particularly fascinating is that it is only the end of March, and peak emergence actually occurs here at the end of March or the very beginning of April, days or even weeks earlier than at other den sites throughout Massachusetts. And the reason that is, this talus slide is artificially made, inadvertently. There's a power line corridor that overshoots this expanse of marsh, and these rocks were just the result of them clearing the land to construct the power lines. And in most marshes throughout Massachusetts, you usually don't have ample natural rock slides abutting marshlands. So this has created this incredible microhabitat of being able to capture heat where along most other wetlands, such a microhabitat doesn't exist to this degree. In fact, it is only 45 to 50 degrees right now, and these rocks are 80, 85 degrees, and it's a bottleneck of heat. It faces southeast, but because of the open marsh, the sun basically beats on here on a clear day, beats on these rocks that normally wouldn't be here all day long. And in fact, hiking in a few hundred feet from here, I was slipping on snow and ice. Now, most of the snow and ice is gone, but still in shaded areas, northeasterly facing areas, northerly facing areas. The marsh itself, most of the ice has melted, but this marsh actually connects to a lake, and flying the drone earlier, I could see ice, quite a bit of ice still on the surface. So, for all intents and purposes, it is still late winter. The peak emergence here is incredible that it is so much earlier than at most other sites that I have, or all other sites that I have visited my whole life. So we're gonna poke around here. Actually, as I was just setting down the backpack, I noticed at least, I think there's 2 up there, 2 northern water snakes. So we're gonna poke around and let's see what we can find in March. So it's been a couple of hours since I initially worked my way up the talus slide. While doing so, there were snakes poking their heads out everywhere. So I just concentrated on getting footage, and I'll save narration for voiceover when I roll that footage. But before we do that, I would like to give a shout out to my friend Mike, who introduced me to this spot. I really appreciate it, man. It's an incredible experience being here. So let's roll that footage. With morning lows in the 20s, snakes like this northern water snake were slow to emerge. Northern water snakes are the largest snakes encountered throughout most of Massachusetts. Black rat snakes and timber rattlesnakes are longer and heavier respectively, but only reside in a few isolated pockets in the state. Northern water snakes primarily feed on amphibians and fish. Most notable about these snakes is that they are often misidentified as cottonmouths, aka water moccasins, throughout Greater New England, when in fact the closest population of cottonmouths are some 450 miles to the south in extreme southeastern Virginia. A juvenile eastern garter snake emerging between two water snakes. In Massachusetts, eastern garter snakes are as common as they are pretty. Their contrasting striping of yellow and dark brown or olive green is important for camouflage and can play trickery on potential predators' eyes as they slither through grass or other dense vegetation. Eastern garter snakes are known to have a diverse diet, which includes invertebrate, fish, and rodents, but they primarily feed on amphibians. And most garters that I have stumbled upon feeding, their prey choice were toads. Ribbon snakes are closely related to garter snakes, and the two look similar in comparison. Ribbon snakes could be described as more slender, and they are semi-aquatic like water snakes. So as spring advances, garters will leave the den and make their way to the marsh's water's edge, just as ribbon and water snakes will. Except these latter two will go beyond. A couple of days later, while preoccupied at my day job, I encouraged my wife and daughter to visit the snake den to do a bit of filming for me. Here is the result of their effort, uncut.
Everybody, it's a beautiful 59-degree day in Massachusetts, which is very nice and warm. And so my dad told me to come here and film some footage.
So you got it peeking its head out?
Yeah. Mommy. What are you doing?
Making it move.
Mommy, don't speak.
Ready? I'm trying to move the sticks. Probably should be picking it up, but there you go. Did you get it?
I don't know.